Hi there. So at the site today, as we can see, and the plan this morning is to seine this pond, which has got our Lake Choga fish, which is the brood stock that we're trying to, well, breeding so that we can get the fingerlings and then have fingerlings available for us and for other farmers. And we're moving there's lots of fingerlings in here, so we're going to try and scoop them out. We bought some these little containers. I'm not sure they'll be the right size, but we're going to try our best, basically, because this will allow us to get the guppy. There's lots of guppies in there, different species. So try and get rid of those, keep just the tilapia, and then we'll move the tilapia fingerlings in here, and then we'll feed them, and we'll see how they do basically, and we'll chart their growth, things like that, size. When we emptied this pond out, we put fertiliser in. And if you leave this water too long with fertiliser, you end up getting parasites and things in it. So you really want to get your fish in there as quickly as possible to avoid that, so they can start eating any little worms, anything like that might be growing into sort of bigger problem parasites. So this is what we're doing today. So we are now in the process of sorting. So you can see we've got quite a range of size. What we're trying to do is take all the guppies out. Dog's having a field day. Come on, get away. And then we'll put the tilapia in there, take the guppies out, put it here, and then we'll weigh them and estimate how many we've got. These dogs, they're having a great time, but not listening to us. So we just weighed a scoop of fish in here, and then I counted them manually, and there was about 100 odd. So we are looking at about 100, well, there's 105, but we'll call it 100 because obviously some of them are bigger than others, so you've got a margin of error, but basically then you know how many scoops there should be. So we're looking at, I've just put in 200 in there, and then we'll keep going and see how many we can get. So I'm just adding the scoop, you can see that's 400 now. See, some of these are a bit weak, unfortunately. It will die in the handling, so this one is going to die. That one, see the one just here? Not swimming very well. Give it a chance, but some of these ones are just not going to make it. Look at this guy. But it's partly because we were the way we handled them. So we've got 800 in there so far. It's our third go. And then there's our brood stock in here, which I don't love. This is our premium fish, which we're not selling. We had 72 of them remaining, and so what we're doing is just putting the big ones in the tank so that you don't want to be catching them over and over again. That's probably more stressful. So we decided to put them in here, and we just sort of top it up with water, which oxygenates it. It's in the shade, but I'm sure they don't love it. So yeah, but there are some big old brood stock, which is great. Like I say, I think the average is 300 something, which is bigger than the ones we sell on the farm. And I think some of the ones that we measured are actually, we're around 150 grams, but I wonder if those have actually effectively they've been breeding for a while, and so those have grown. It could, well, I think that's more likely. So you can see some big ones that they're catching there. So these are some of the bigger brood stock. You can see the size of them. I might weigh some of these just to see. They are pretty big. But that means it's good for us, because it means that if they put on a lot of weight quite quickly, of course that's the genetic strain that we want for our fish when we start getting them. So we're still doing the fingerling harvest to put them from this pond into this one. But what I love is to see these three women that have arrived to come to buy some fish. So it's really great, because it means that the word is getting out that we have fish available. So in due course, we're almost done, I think, and then we'll go and get them their fish. They only want about 10, so it's not a huge amount, but it's worth it. And I'd rather people get fish, we get the money, than not. So yeah, it's good. So this is what I love. Like, we see the kids, they're buying the fish for their kids because we've reduced the price a bit and the size. It's perfect. This is fish farming for people that really need it. So we're just looking for 170 to 200. That's the range we're selling it now. Pauson might have it with this one. Yeah, 180. Perfect. So I just got back. Quick reflections on the day, just as I pick up the St. Johns for going off to have lunch with them. So yeah, we managed to move 1,600 fingerlings or thereabouts into that pond, which is great. We'll go again and get another 1,000 or so at some point at the next week or so. But that's fantastic because it basically means that we can pass those on to this women group that really want to help if they're successful. So we'll have to try them for a month. And then the other fantastic news this week is we've done really well in sales, and we managed to sell to some women as they arrived at our site, and then they were buying for their kids. So perfect, really fantastic way to end the week. So happy days.